Every contract that we're performing for construction work is going to require certain paperwork and information to be exchanged. The terms of the contract specifically define the set of information and documents that are required per the terms of the contract. And a lot of that is set up around, administration and creating documentation because, again, it is very important that from a construction management standpoint, the project is managed properly financially. The owner and general contractor are intending to finish a building and pay for it and not end up paying for a building that doesn't get finished. And so there's a lot of information that is exchanged between the parties, and I've created this required document list to extract from the terms of the contract a concise list to identify what paperwork is required to be provided per the terms of a particular contract. That doesn't mean that our customers won't ask for additional information or documents that don't appear within the terms. Some contracts, a lot of contracts actually identify that whatever documents they ask for are supposed to be provided. But what we're interested in is streamlining our administrative process. We can look at the contract itself and read through and see what are the requirements. Seems a little cumbersome and probably more efficient if we can extract a list of standard document types. As we review the contract, record what those document types are, and then provide a list of standard document forms that we need to provide with the execution of the contract. That's normally this set of documents. If these documents are required, it's normally required when we're initially setting up the contract. Separately from that, we have a set of documents that are required with each of our progress bills. So that includes basically an invoice, a waiver, and then waivers from our suppliers. Now, what I've done is split this up into the set of documents that our ordinary business process already is expected to facilitate. So we expect that we're going to return a signed or executed contract to the customer, send them a schedule of values, we're going to send them shop drawings, and we're going to send them insurance certificates. The insurance certificates, it basically includes all of the insurance that we have. It may have a requirement for special language or endorsements that they want to have included on the insurance. There should be a nice, easy way for us to convey that information internally so that everybody at our company doesn't have to read a 40-page contract and then in order for us to just provide a simple response. Sometimes, some jobs, depends on the customer and their normal business process, but they may require us to provide them with a job site safety plan, MSDS sheets. I'm going to show you the MSDS sheets are available through the proposal that we send to our customers. We go to the product submission tab and then product files. For each and every part that we can record in Bid Unity, we have the ability to associate different files with those parts. So this part, it has an MSDS sheet and that file is uploaded with the part. Now, if the part is used in the proposal, then what we're looking at here on this page is the files that are associated with parts that are used on the project. So we are by default providing the MSDS reports to our customers as soon as we send them the proposal. It is pretty well hidden and buried, so I figured I would explain how we get to it. Contractor's license, a copy of our license is sometimes required. They also sometimes require a list of people that we identify are competent to do different things. When we send invoices, of course, we have to send the bill. We're going to send a waiver that basically says we're not going to lien the property if we receive payment. We may be required, normally we are required to provide waivers from third-party suppliers. That would be companies that provided a notice to owner. That's normally what allows the contractor to be aware that they should receive a waiver from that third party. Sometimes we're required to provide an affidavit. An affidavit, basically, it's a sworn statement that the information we're providing regarding, receipt of funds, what is due and payable currently, and the disposition of those funds is being represented truthfully to them. We may also need to provide a statement of vendor accounts, and that is something similar to this, where we basically have a budgeted cost for the vendor, what we expect, what we paid, what is due to the vendor in this period, how much of the amount due to them remains unpaid. We have a separate form for tracking all of this, but this is the general structure of it. We may be required to furnish guaranteed wage statements, so we have to disclose on certain federally funded projects. We're required to disclose the wages that are being paid to the workers on the job. And those wage amounts need to be certain minimum levels, and there could be additional requirements that are outside of the scope of these pre-populated entries. But the intent is to extract these document information requirements as we read through the contract initially, check boxes, what have you, to indicate what is required so that we can have an efficient contract billing process that doesn't cause us to have to reference a whole bunch of different just raw contracts, 40, 50 pagers, what have you. And we don't want to end up where we just provide, the first three and they don't process our invoice because we didn't provide one of these additional forms that's required.